Hi everyone and welcome to Module 2. I really appreciated all the work you put into the introductory blogs, and I thought it was great to get more depth into getting to know everyone, and it was so nice seeing how you responded to each other. Everyone was really welcoming, and there were some really interesting conversations that we had, so thank you. Do check on feedback that I left for you, because as I explained in class, this was a kind of a trial run for how the discussions are going to work in terms of depth and content and all of that. So to do that, I think you probably know this, but I'll just go over this again. Go to My Grades, and mine is going to look different than yours, so I'm not even going to click on it. Go to My Grades, and you should be able to find the grade that I gave you as well as the feedback. And it'll give you an idea. If you got 10 points, you're totally on track. Just carry on. A lot of you got 7 points for various reasons, and I explained that in the feedback. Okay, so Module 2. Here it is, and I think most of you have seen this. I've had a look at it. You are going to finish your kid watching book and then start in the discussion. This is the main work for this week. You can start posting anytime, but definitely have something posted by tomorrow night. And then over the weekend, you're going to do your dialoguing. We'll look at the instructions in a second. Well, actually, we'll go down and look at that right now. So to do that, you're going to, before you actually go into the discussion, this is what you need to write about. And what I recommend is that everyone finish the whole text, and then start to basically craft what we're going to call a thread for your discussion post in a Word doc so that you can then paste in to the discussion. Now I have done one as a model, so I'm going to show you that actually. And so that is here, and I have put this up in each of your groups. So I have kind of some introductory comments. And then for me, I put, these are some understandings that I hope you got, because obviously I'm the instructor. There's a reason that I wanted you to read this. So this is kind of what I hope that you got. But when you're writing your post, you can say, here are some understandings that you got, right? And just a couple of bullet points. And then this is the part where the chapter that resonated the most with me, and I wrote about chapter 1. And this is longer than you'll need to do. But what I'm hoping to see from you is a combination of references to the text, and you can do direct quotes, as well as how that relates to what you're thinking and what your work is. So again, it's a combination of what are you getting from the text, as well as how are you relating that. I have a lot of questions in here, and they're just a way of kind of me showing how the sociocultural theory works for me. You may or may not raise questions. And then I kind of left it with a quote, but you can leave it with a question to your group, like, what do you guys think about this? In fact, that's a good practice to do that, because then what's going to happen, so again, yours doesn't need to be this long, but it should have similar parts to it. Okay, so that's that. Let's look at what the discussion looks like. So these are your groups. And then the way it works is if we're in group 1, for example, here's your steps here. And but basically you're going to click on here, and then you're going to come to this page here. And then each person's going to do the initial, what I call in the calendar, the initial post is actually your initial thread. So you're going to create thread, and then you're going to name it something. It says message, but it's the thread. And then you're going to paste what you have done in here, and then you are going to submit, which is down here. Then what's going to happen, then what it's going to look like, and I use these navigation things a lot here. I find it helpful. So let's go back to what that looked like. So I've posted my thread here. So then once everyone posts, then you can start responding, or even if just one person posts, you can start responding. So to respond to someone, you click on their thread, and then you're going to reply. And that's how that's going to work. And the replies are going to be similar to what you did in your blogs. You're going to kind of relate to what someone said. You're going to share your thoughts as well on that. You might raise further questions, because the idea is, again, imagine that you're having a live conversation with this, and that the purpose of the conversation is to build meaning together about the text and to get new insights and perspectives. That's super important. Again, new insights and perspectives. So someone might bring up something that you hadn't thought about, or that you disagree with, or so, and all of that is totally fine and what's expected. So my role as the instructor for this, I'm going to basically be hands off until Monday. And then Monday, then I'm going to kind of come in and I'm going to kind of read what you have. And then I might pose a few other questions for you to consider, or just kind of agree with what's going on. And then after Wednesday, then I'll do the grading. But there'll be kind of, again, some informal kind of feedback from me that you'll get along the way, or just joining your conversation. But mainly I want you to kind of take it away and develop your own conversations with this. So you are welcome to look at what other groups have written, but you don't have to, and you can respond to what other groups have written. But again, you are only required to kind of focus with your own group. Timing is important, so please try to get your posts up by Saturday so people can respond to them. If for some reason someone in your group hasn't responded by Saturday, just carry on and respond to who you can respond to. If, say, you're in a group and no one puts their thing up, then go ahead and respond to another group. I don't want people to be held back by each other. So just do make sure you kind of get going and get this work done. Okay. Let's look at what else is needed for this week is to get going on your case study. I went through the case study wiki. Everyone who has already put their case study up, if you have not heard from me, I've totally approved I have approved your case study, so go ahead and get going on that. This is the informal interview, and the informal interview is based on kid watching. So kid watching is supposed to inspire you to want to know some things about your case study. And I have given some, let's see, where did I put that? And I'll just kind of read this. I'll just show you here. In here, okay. I've given you some tips. So one of the things I want you to get out of this book is that it actually is an assessment manual. So you can use it to assess all the things that are in there. So for the informal interview, you could start with the questions on page 20, which says figuring out what kids think. And you could also get some ideas from page 18. If you want to talk to the parents, you absolutely can. Again, this is you decide, you drive this one. You decide what you want to know. You decide how important that is. Think about your work with special ed and what the implications are of asking these types of questions of those families. Again, you're not using this in your work right now, but it's designed to get you thinking more holistically about kids. So that's the story there. So you just need to draft up questions. You don't need to turn them in. And then at some point, you're going to ask your questions, and then you are basically, I think I told you last week, maybe I didn't, but you are basically collecting all of your notes, and you're going to have them in like a notebook. And that is how you're going to keep track of things. Okay, so that's that. And then I have also opened up Module 3. Not required to get started on this, but some people might have extra time this weekend and want to do some reading. So you absolutely can. So here is the readings that are here for this week. And there's some optional ones as well. And then do not start these assessments yet. We're going to go over those when we meet next Thursday. But if you want to get started on the reading, you can. Okay, that is all from me. Again, I look forward to kind of hearing your thoughts on kid watching, and I hope you have a good weekend, and I will see you next week, but I will be responding to you in your discussions before that. Okay, bye.